Hi everyone! I am so excited and so inspired by receiving this deck that I have decided to make my first ever deck unboxing and card reveal. So I will be looking through this whole thing, telling you my thoughts on it, and mostly just gushing about how incredible that it is. So first things first, the packaging on this thing is just incredible. As soon as I saw it, I just squealed. Retail, it is $24.95 US, which is really, really affordable for the way that this feels. Just off on a good start already. Now, going further, this is not, it doesn't open the same way as other decks would, where you lift it off the top, but it instead pulls up like this, which I think is so unique. And the way that it does it, it just pulls with such ease, and it's like almost sexy the way that it comes off. Then we have the inside. I mean, I'm like shaking because I'm so excited about it, but it's really just thought out so well. But yeah, the packaging of this thing is just seriously beautiful. I think that already it seems worth the money, even if you don't know what's on the inside already, which so many of us do from social media. But already it's worth every penny for the purchase. I can definitely say that. So now we will get into the inside. So again, this is very unique, very different than normal decks in that, for one, this book is almost the first thing that you reach for in order to make some room to get the other cards out. Sometimes the book is located on top, but usually they don't look like this. So this is a hardcover book that's very thin compared to other booklets. And at first I thought that, it's beautiful, but I was like, okay, it probably doesn't have the amount of knowledge that, say, a bigger book would give you. But everything is just written very small. She still has an introduction from the artist. They talk a little bit about the major arcana and the minor arcana generally, and then it gives you a really good amount of information on every single card that's in here. We have a little bit about the minor arcana. So these ones are smaller, but it's very to the point. It's very it's very easy to read. And then what I think is interesting about this is that this could very easily go into a wallet or into a purse or something like that, where even if you were using a different kind of deck, you might find that this could be your go-to for easy reference, because it is so nicely made and because it would fit so easily anywhere. So beautiful. I love the booklet. Now to get into the reason why you're all here, which is to look through these magnificent cards. So I did already cheat a little bit, and I took off there was a little paper taped here to keep these together. And then the only other thing on the packaging is that there's a little bit there's some cardboard here just to keep everything together. So now that that's out, I think that it will probably fit these easier, where I won't have that issue with taking the book out first to get to the cards. So we'll see about that. So here's what the back of the cards look like. They are gorgeous. I absolutely love the blue that they chose to use. It does read a little bit lighter blue on camera than in person. It looks a little bit more like turquoise in person than this kind of baby blue gray color that it's picking up. But more importantly, we have some cards to go through. So let me get a little bit more comfy so that way I can easily flip through these, and we'll get right into it. here we are with the major arcana. We're going to go through these slow so that way you can see each. So this is the Fool. This is the Magician, which is featured on the cover. We have the High Priestess. We have the Empress, which apparently my cat likes. We have the Emperor. Get that, Ram. We have the Hierophant, the Hierophant, the Hierophant. Make sure that you correct me below. Then we have the Lovers. We have the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune. We have Justice. We have the Hanged One instead of the Hanged Man. I appreciate that kind of going away from that traditional masculine role. I'm interested to see if they do more with this idea. Oops, we got a lot of the glare coming on this. Now we have Death. I wasn't laughing at the Death card. I was laughing because my cat now all of a sudden is meowing because I'm looking at tarot and that's what she does. Now we have Temperance. We have the Devil. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Love that it's a little girl on there. For some reason, that one made me smile. We have Judgment. So you can see a lot of these are very similar in the world. This is a perfect example of what I was just about to talk about. So these are very similar and very reminiscent of traditional Rider-Waite cards, which I can really appreciate, especially for newer tarot readers. You don't necessarily want to jump into getting a super unique deck that strays so far away from traditional meanings that it's hard for you to keep track. So I would definitely recommend this already for beginners as well as deck collectors as well as advanced readers already. It's amazing. So let's get into the minor arcana. I switched it up a little bit so that way you can see this beautiful cover as I keep going through these. So I'm going to go through each of the suits. We're going to start with Wands, because that's the way it's packaged. So we're just gonna go with however it was packaged. So we have the Ace of Wands, nail golds. I literally just had black nails last time. Two of Wands, Three of Wands, Four of Wands. I love how it really blends this traditional imagery in with, having the buildings in the background and then changing their outfits, of course, making that modern, but even choosing to keep some of the same elements while modernizing it. Very evident in cards like that. The Five of Wands. Six of Wands. Get it, girl. We have Seven of Wands. Don't mess with her. The Eight of Wands, which I can appreciate that they put a person on that card. I think it gets that point across a little bit differently, but just as effectively, maybe more effectively than the traditional artist intended on. Here's the Nine of Wands. She's been running. Girl, she been running. And the 10 of Wands. I'm really starting to pay attention to, especially in the minor arcana, what each of the people are wearing. I think that was, you know, nothing is just happened with this deck, I'm assuming. So it's interesting to look into that. Now we have the Page of Wands. Oh, I've seen that look before. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands, one of my faves. And we have the King of Wands. Next up, we have the Cups. So here's Ace of Cups. I like that they have this heart here. I like all of that. The colors that they've used already for these cup suits, this light pink. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. How can you not love this card? If you're an alcoholic, you might not like this card. Otherwise. Four of Cups. Over it. That's so funny. I love that. Make sure it's... Oh, there we go. Four of Cups. Over it. Five of Cups. Six of Cups. I love that. It is interesting, though, that it's not two children in this and that it's an adult and a child. Again, changes the meaning a little bit, maybe for some people, but I think it's tastefully done. Seven of Cups. I love that. I love that so much. This kind of nod to a witch hat, like she has the power to control her destiny. She just needs to pick a cup. Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. 10 of Cups. You gotta love that it is two women and two kids. Assuming this little girl, this is kind of gender neutral. They're both wearing heels. I'd like those little switch ups to make it more modern for sure. It's important. Page of Cups. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. I love that she's on the beach. Wow. Powerful. And the King of Cups. He is like in the ocean. Or sorry, I should say she. But yeah, so this is interesting too. I was going to talk about this earlier, but both of the suits so far that we've looked at, they still have a masculine and a feminine type of energy representing them, but they are both depicted as women or as kind of non-binary, but presumably women, since I think that that's everything else has been women. I might be wrong though. Now we have the swords, and we can all appreciate that it's not a white hand holding it. I love it. Two of Swords. I like that her feet are crossed too. The Three of Swords. Ooh. The Four of Swords. Girl looks like her alarm clock went off, but she just got to sleep 2 hours ago. The Five of Swords. The Six of Swords. That one hits different than the regular one. Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. Swords are like, the hardest suit, and 10 of Swords, which is interesting because on the back of the deck, on the back of the deck, it did say everything is fine on this one. And I was kind of concerned if it was going to say stuff like that instead of the actual, you know, what it is. So I'm glad to see that it's 10 of Swords and that it says that. It makes it, again, it's very easy for beginners to pick up as well. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. This little translucent getup though. And the King of Swords. Yes. Now we have the last suit of the Minor Arcana, which is Pentacles. Or the last in this one anyway. So, this is the Ace of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. Now this is different. This is perhaps one of the most different cards in terms of straying from traditional Rider-Waite that I've seen in the deck. Very interesting. The Four of Pentacles. Again with the skyscraper edition in the background. I really like that. The Five of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, which is my card of the day today. And it is interesting that they have substituted the scales and the money for gifts. Seven of Pentacles. She has indoor plants. We can get behind a girl with indoor plants. Eight of Pentacles. Love that. Again, it's just so modernized, right? Like we're not chipping away at things to make carvings anymore. I mean, some of us are, but more of us are doing stuff like this in terms of work. Love that she's in the socks because that's exactly how I look right now too. Now we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is normally my favorite card because she looks so regal and elegant. And this is a very different take on that. And I can appreciate that. She has everything she needs. She provides for herself. We still have the bird in there like we have in the traditional. Very interesting. And then 10 of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Get it, girl. Look at that dress. And King of Pentacles. So that is the end of the Minor Arcana. My take on the Minor Arcana is that it did vary a little bit more from traditional Rider-Waite than the Major Arcana did. However, the ones that were different were thoughtful. And honestly, I don't notice a huge difference in the way that it would read. All right, so after that, we have that Everything is Fine card. That's interesting. So, I mean, you could use this in your deck as a second 10 of Swords. I mean, I don't know that I would want a second 10 of Swords in my deck, but you could definitely keep it if you wanted to, or you could use it for art or something. That's pretty cool. And I love this. It says, you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. My nails kind of match it, kind of, so it feels extra meant to be. So I give this deck a 10 out of 10 easily. It is very worth your $24.95. I would highly suggest it for beginners, for intermediate students of tarot, for advanced practice, you know what I'm saying, for everyone. It's a great deck. I can't wait to use it and to give it a good interview and to start going live with it and to start giving readings to myself and to other people with it. It's truly probably one of my favorite decks that I've received all year. And it's November, the end of November, so that's saying something. So thank you so much to Lisa Sturl for all of this amazing work that she did, and all of the people who marketed this thing and really like made it what it is, because it truly is beautiful. And yeah, I'm so excited. All right, well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I will be back with more if you think that this is something that you'd like to see in the future. I have tons of decks, so I'm happy to unbox them and to show them to you in case you are looking to buy them on your own but maybe scared to take that final leap. On this one, it's a big fat yes. Do it. Do it.